Yo, what's up, guys? This podcast was brought to you by Jesse Hope. This is a little bit different, but he's a Kiwi singer, songwriter, and musician. He's up and coming. He's young. He's motivated. Go and check him out. Follow him on Spotify, on Instagram, Jesse Hope Music. Go check out his music videos on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description. But last but not least, Friday the 16th of April, he's bringing out a new song, and you won't want to miss it. Enjoy the podcast. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is called What's New. We're going to be talking about everything to do with 138 right now within the business, little inside scoops.
138.
First up, samples. So we've got about 10 samples, just got it made. They are sort of almost finished, and they're going to be here. I'm going to do a vlog when they get here, exactly what they are, what changes we're making, when we're bringing them out. So I'll do that when they arrive, but I'll give you an inside scoop now, sort of where we are with them. So the track shorts, that's the first one we've made. So they're black track shorts. They've got 3 graphic designs on the left leg, one of them being like a sort of like a light blue. And so our drawstring is also light blue with a clear adjuster, a stretchy sort of drawstring that are sort of linked together, not 2 separate strings hanging, if that makes sense. By the way, all these are sort of vintage sports inspired, with of course a 138 twist on it. So it's kind of vintage sports trying to meet streetwear in a way. That's what we've gone for with these. Tees. So we've got about 4 tees, 2 different designs, 2 different colours in each, black and white in both of them. But one's the logo tee, so it's got a bunch of different graphic logos all over it. Which looks really cool, and we've got that in black and white. And then we've also got a white Hustlers tee and a black Hustlers tee. So Hustlers is, if you haven't seen it, check out our gram and scroll down, you'll see it. It's kind of just got like a Hustlers here and 138 right there. Those are our 4 tees. We've got a white hood, so a white hoodie. We've actually got the sample made in tan, so we're going to see how the tan goes. Had a bit of a late change of heart, but I think we might go back to the white depending on how this tan looks. So it's basically just got Global Sporting Academy across the front, and a little 138 as well. So that's a really cool one. I like that one. We also have a black hood. The black hood has two designs here, graphic designs. We actually had them made like printed, like normal printing on them for these hoodies. But I think we're going to switch it up to embroidered for the black hoodie. Just a thought. We'll see how it looks when it comes in, and I'll give you the final sort of decision on it. But for now, that's what it is. That's where it stands with the black hoodie. Grey hoodie. This one's a little bit different. I actually really like this one. Got inspired by it. I was actually in a store over here in Australia called David Jones, and there was a really nice hoodie in there by a really cool brand. And it sort of inspired me to do something a little bit different with this piece. So what I've done is I've actually taken the hood, and I've taken the pocket on the front and the hood itself, and I've turned it inside out, the fabric. So the texture is a little bit different on the front pocket and the hood compared to the rest of the hoodie. And then it's got sort of 4 138s along each arm and one little 138 on the front of it. That one's going to be sick. That's our sort of very different piece in this collection, but I reckon it's going to pop. I like it a lot. So we also have a cap that we're trying to make at the moment. That's not going to be dropping in this one, but we're in the design of that at the moment. And we also want to sort of bring a sports cap in at some point. I always wear caps during sport, and I don't know, it's just something that I've always wanted to do. So we'll bring that in at some point. Marketing outsourcing. We're looking at outsourcing our paid marketing. So we have a guy that Sean Motu that we have been talking to a lot, and we're looking at sort of delegating a budget towards paid marketing each month, and he could potentially be running our paid marketing. It's an area that we've slacked in a lot, but I feel that with money sort of moving a little bit faster now, we're able to spend, a little bit more, like get into that profit, chip into it and spend it on stuff to grow the business a bit more. And one of those massive ones for us being paid marketing. I guess for me, it was sort of like I didn't want to jump in and waste money on something that I'm not sort of savvy in. Although that sort of goes against what I talk about when I say it's better to try and do it. You get more out of it trying and learning to do it than not doing it at all. We have tried, but I think we're at a point now where we can sort of outsource it and make some gains off it. Podcast ad spaces. We started selling podcast ad spaces on all of the podcasts. We sell in 3 different ways, and the way the pricing works I'll explain to you. So we sell a pre-roll, which is 15 seconds at the start. We sell a mid-roll, which is a minute in the beginning, in the middle, and we sell a end roll, which is like a 25-second sort of spiel at the end of the podcast. So they have different prices, and so to give you an example, so our pre-roll would charge about $25 for 1,000 views. So we charge per 1,000 views over a 6-week period. So how that would work, say you bought a pre-roll off us for $25 per 1,000 views. We post that podcast. After 6 weeks, we see how many views that podcast got across all platforms, views and listens. And let's say it was 4,000 views and listens over 6 weeks. 4 times $25 would be $100. So you would pay us $100 after the 6-week period for that advertising. And then you can obviously mix and mingle them. You can do the pre-roll and the mid-roll, or you can do all 3. You can do, I want to do the next 4 or 5 podcasts. So we have nailed 3 sponsors down. One sponsored 3 podcasts, another one sponsored 2. And the third one is still deciding how much they're going to sponsor. But it's cool because we're actually getting some sort of traction on it. And, I've been doing this podcast out of my own pocket. I bought all this stuff for myself for, close to 18 months. So to be able to start sort of getting something for it is pretty cool. And I'm proud of it because I built it off, the thought of I want to start this, I want to provide value to people. It was never really to start to create money for myself at the beginning. It was more to document our journey and to give back to people and teach people. So, but it's cool that it's now gotten to this point. So we got a new camera and a mic today. You're watching it right now. Should be in 4K. And it's the Sony A6500, really good camera. So we've actually sold the last one to a guy who follows our content. He started his own little business, and he's been trying to learn off us. So he wanted to buy the cam, sort of following the steps that we were taking. So he's taken that. We've bought this new one, and we also got a little bit of a mic on the top for vlogging. So one of the biggest feedbacks I've had with the vlogs and just vlogging in general is that audio is very important. Our audio is just always come through the microphone, through the camera microphone, sorry. And so to have like a proper mic that's sort of a dynamic mic on the top to aim at the person talking, hopefully is going to create, a better sound and make the videos a little bit better. So we're going to be able to do a bit more with this camera as well because it's got a few better features, which is actually why I got it. One being the 4K, so we can actually record stuff in 4K, and we can also record 1080p, so HD. We can record at 120 frames per second. That might sound like gibberish to you, but basically it means that it takes 120 sort of frames each second. So it's really quick, and then you can slow it down and make cool like slow-mo videos and things like that. So that's why we got it, just to sort of sort of improve in that, and also to have the mic input. So the last one didn't have a mic input, so we couldn't. That's why we never had that mic on top of the other camera, but this one does. So those are the reasons why we got it. Restocks. So I'm just going to put it out there to everyone that's watching. If you are watching and you want a restock in something, you've seen something that you like and we sort of haven't brought it back, share this video on your story or screenshot it, put it on your story, whatever you're watching it on or listening to it on. Tag us so we can see it and tell us what you want us to bring back. because we do get a few messages in our Instagram DMs, but I'm actually going to put it out there now that we're looking at potentially restocking some items, and if you are wanting something, then screenshot this and do as I just said, and we might be able to see what we can do. One thing, if you're going to ask for the elephant's teas, don't bother, we're not bringing those back. We always said we'd keep those limited, and we're going to stick to that. Email marketing is another big push that I'm trying to do. So first of all, if you have not signed up to our email marketing, jump on our website, 138.co.nz, scroll down to the bottom, and in the bottom right sort of says be in the know. Sign up on your email and you should start receiving our emails. I'm going to put a big push towards that soon. Also, not just the like keeping you in the loop with sales and things like that, but I want to start creating kind of like a bit of a newsletter off it. So whether it be highlighting people or giving you good quotes from good people or something that I've learned, teaching you that. Kind of diversify it more than just a sort of clothing brand product selling email marketing. That's the push. But if you're keen to jump in on that and sort of see them, jump on the website, sign up. We rearranged the office, as you can see. So everything used to the desk used to be here, and we had the whole sort of podcast set up and everything on that desk. But now we just push the desk against here, and we've got another table sitting right here. And this is kind of like our podcast studio area now. So we've got all the mics and the whole podcast area things set up here with the light. So it's completely separate. It was just kind of, I don't know, one I get bored. I get bored as fuck with the same thing, so I like to change it heaps. But the other one being I wanted to separate it because there was enough room in here to be able to do that. So have the sort of workspace over there and have our podcast area where it's just set and stays there, and it's not in the way. We are having a potential change of our logo, which I talked about previously, that it was an idea, but we're actually sort of really looking into it now. I'll sort of give you the background on the decision. Basically, I want to start pushing the numbers as opposed to the letters within our brand. So we've sort of gone from we started with kind of like the numbers, and obviously our label is the 138 numbers, not 138 written down in words. But I want to sort of push both, but I want to get the numbers back in there because I feel like it's real punchy, the 138, the numbers right there, and that's what I'm looking at doing. Changing the logo to just the numbers with a different sort of font and things like that. Not set in stone yet, but it is an option. So even like with the website domain, I want to change it to 138, the numbers. I want to change the Instagram and everything to the numbers. But big push to see if it will happen. It's just an idea at the moment. We also got a potential change of the podcast name. So 138 Podcast it is at the moment. And I'm thinking about potentially building it around myself as opposed to the business. And sort of so the podcast itself and all my socials will become my socials, and this is kind of my avenue. My 138 is what I do. So yeah, there's a few ideas thrown around there. It's almost, so for me it was to almost sort of separate myself and the content that I'm building to the actual sort of business itself. And I don't know, it's a little bit confusing, but basically I just want to be able to promote myself as a entrepreneur, and this is my avenue that I go down. Not much will change, but it's just a thought at the moment. Sweet, that's pretty much it. That's all I got here. If you haven't, please, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like it. If you're on Instagram, please follow us, follow our journey, give this a share. That sort of those little things do massive things for small businesses. and it would mean a lot to us. So if you can do that, we'd appreciate it. Tag us if you're putting it on your story so we can see it, so we can thank you. And that's us. See you next week. Later. Yo, stop there before you leave. As I mentioned at the start, Jesse Hope Music, up-and-coming Kiwi singer, songwriter and musician. Go and check him out. Friday the 16th of April, he's releasing a new song. You can go follow him on Spotify. You can go watch his music videos on YouTube. And you can find him on Instagram, Jesse Hope Music. You don't want to miss this guy. He's up and coming.